recommendation to the user, and it also goes back to the training data set. The standard training data set is a good quality data set, but the new data set might be low quality. Suppose today your mood is different, but tomorrow your mood be stable. So it does a negative sampling. Negative and then gives less score to goes to the batch training. This batch training you have anybody knows Docker, Kubernetes.
Yeah.
Processor, Intel, AMD. Anybody? Let's be interactive because I am also a student. You are also students, so you can speak if you need if you want. Okay, batch training. You can say it as processor have threads and the cores. You may not need the full capacity of the processor for a single user. So the Docker, what does it do? It means it splits your threads into multiple chunks, and also it splits your data set into multiple chunks. So if you send few data, that data will be occupying that space only. The other resources like the cores, the threads, everything will be allocated to the next user. Suppose you use without Docker, you use this, and then you may face the rate limits which we see now. Like you face the login errors, right? So it's using the processor, main processor. So we didn't use Docker. So let's like we'll use later. What Kubernetes do is it creates multiple Docker instances. The processor has multiple Docker instances because uh, your processor may have 16 threads. The processor may have 32 cores, but all might be not using. So it creates chunks, and also it creates dataset chunks. And each minor chunk will be used for the resources training. So after training your latest data, it generates the new weights. That weights will be again storing in this, and then it goes to the model, and then that model retrieves the parameter open weights, and then recommends the new videos. Like that, it repeats the cycle. Suppose sometimes you may leave your phone or PC still. Then you may see so much of delay. So that time it needs to store the recommended videos. If we didn't store the recommended videos, then this processor will have under load. So we have to keep the recommended videos in a cache storage. Suppose your video has been delayed for 5 seconds, then it is stored in the cache. And if your video has been delayed, like if your parameters have been delayed for more than 10 minutes, then it is stored in the permanent storage, like hard disk kind of thing. Yeah, that's all for like anybody have doubts? Like I'll explain again. You need it. Yeah, this R is called the data set where you have structured data, and it goes to batch processing. Every data will be going to like every second it won't go and retrain. So it parallelly it will train, and to train parallel we need to split the data into batches. Those batches will be sent to the model. That model will train, and that model weights are being stored in this open storage. And in the this training part, it could be called as Yeah, it's an internal process. Like the main process is here, the serving. When you use the app, this will run. This is a model, and you are the user, and this is the open weight storage. When the user has liked or shared or viewed some 10 seconds or 30 seconds, those weights are being stored in Kafka queue, and then the model based on this queue, what are the recommendations? It will be sending to another queue. That both queues will merge at Flink joiner, where the Flink joiner gives the recommendations to user, and then it records also, because sometimes you may not like the video. So, at that time, it directly routes to the training queue, and the new data will be trained, will be added to the data set, and that data will be calculated, ranked. Suppose, like I said, right? Suppose today your mode is different, tomorrow your mode is different. So that kind of examples, it gives a negative rank, and the positive examples like. This mode continues tomorrow and day after tomorrow. That time it gives positive rank. This that again it repeats the process. Model, service, and recommendation. This is a TikTok underlying architecture. Yeah. Coming to yeah. Everyone knows credit score, right? Yeah. Yeah. Credit score does data mining. Uh, Suppose you take a loan, your details will be sent to a credit bureau, and if you take a credit card, that details also will be sent to credit bureau. Like those banking products, everything will be sent to a credit bureau. That credit bureau gives data. That data is the use it for model training. So this we have to convert into the target data. That target data will be pre-processed. Anybody knows pre-processing? Anybody knows pre-processing? Pre-processing is nothing but removing the odds. Suppose some might have 700 score, and some might have 400 score. So to categorize a median number, we need to eliminate the lowest ones, like mean. Sorry, not median. Mean. To calculate the best mean, we have to eliminate the longest distance. Like suppose 700 is the mean, the 400 is affecting that. So it could reduce more. It comes to 700 from the 700 to 650. So it doesn't happen. So we need to eliminate those. Those odds. Pre-processing is normalizing the data, cleaning the data set, and then use it for model training. So we had pre-processed the data, and this is the transformed data. In this transformed data, you may see many users have 700 score, many users have 400 score. Suppose you want to pick everyone who has 400 score. So that region will be marked as red. Suppose you want to navigate to 700 score, that will be marked as blue. This is just an illustrative example. The model doesn't do like this. Like these regions will be based on similarities. When the model identifies these patterns, these are useful patterns. These will be used as knowledge. This knowledge is called open weights. The previous example, I said TikTok as a open weight storage, right? That storage will use this knowledge. So let's go to credit score. Yeah, this is a credit score architecture. Yeah, here's coming to mining view. I explained previously data pre-processing everything, right? That will be the mining view, and the training view, the TikTok architecture. It uses the data example. Your data is 100%. Like full 100%. 70% if you use, it will give best results. But if a data set comes, it will struggle to predict. So we need to predict the data set. Suppose 70%, 70% is training, 30% is validation, and 40% is training, 60% is validation. Like those. Suppose if you use 90% and the 10% doesn't show proper inputs, then it will be categorized as oversaturated or saturated kind of thing. So we have to pick the data set based on experimental results. Suppose you get best results in 70%, you can try 74, 75, 76, like that. If you go down, you see, if it increases, it's okay. If it decreases, you need to adjust the training split. After training, you have select variables. Suppose credit score, maybe, yeah, loan. Loan and credit, loan and credit card will have credit limit. So those are similar variables. Those can be categorized into one variable. So those variables are categorized into one, and that will be training the model. And that model training will store the weights. This weights means these are the pre-trained weights. The new weights will be after the iteration. Like it comes to here and it goes back to there, and again it trains. Then the weights will be stored. These are standard weights. You can upgrade the weights, but based on the negative sampler which I explained. Negative sampler gives less rank when the streaming is not the streaming is not reliable. Next, it scores the rank. Suppose these training recommendations will be sent to the scorer. The scorer will be a human or a pre-weights. Suppose you may decide 700 is the best score. So you can keep that as a score, and then the model checks. If 700 is reached, then it will go to the next step, or else it will go again back to the cycle and repeats it, and then validate it. This validation is the 30% split. Here we did 70% split, right? The 30% split will comes to validate, and then it will scale. Scale means scaling means suppose your score is 500 to 700, and then if you score 100, it will be a very odd. Suppose if your score is 700 to 800, then it can't score good. So it scales to 10 point scale, 5 point scale, so that it can generate better recommendations. And then this is the final model, which is the model deployment. So this deployed model will be used in our credit bureaus which generates your credit score. Why this matters now? Every day, every month there's a new language coming, new software coming. You are all computer science students or computer related students. You can't learn every syntax, every language, every as a chat. Most of them uses ChatGPT, right? That doesn't do any tasks. So it's just copy pasting the prompt and verifying it works or not. It helps only to the ChatGPT owner or company, but it won't help you scale up. So what is agentic AI? So your ChatGPT is coming to your computer and doing your tasks. So that is agentic AI. So we'll go into the next, and entry level jobs. Most of them might see layoffs, right? Most of the roles in that layoffs will be junior developers. Why is that so? There are many junior developer roles where sending emails, speaking to clients, uh, writing boilerplate codes. Those roles might like easily replaced by agentic AI because you're providing your ChatGPT a computer which can perform tasks. So in this session, I'm going to like answer where did AI come from? How does modern AI work? How are agents different from normal AI? How can agents replace humans? How is software development changing? How should you prepare? Anybody know this person? Alan Turing. Alan Turing. Yeah, Alan Turing is the father of computer science. Everybody, most of them are computer science. Uh, he built a theoretical foundation. What is the difference between computer and computer engineering? Anybody can tell? Difference between computer engineering and computer science engineering. Okay. So computer engineering is the all the hardware part, the binary language, assembly language, everything will be like scripted to the OS. So you mostly work on the operating systems, binary, assembler, everything. So but these are all scripted languages. It won't show intelligent behavior. So this Alan Turing has started thinking logically that can AI replace can computer replace humans? That time AI word is not coined. So his question was, can computer replace humans? The the only option is that is calculate like the basic options he have was calculator replacing the speed, but but calculator doesn't intelligently do other calculations. Suppose BODMAS rule, you know, right? Some calculators might not follow BODMAS rule. Some might follow the BODMAS rule. So the using intelligent algorithms to make the computer human-like is the computer science which we learn today. So this is computer versus computer science. Computer engineering is the input processing output. You may easily understand this. Keyboard, mouse, scanners, everything. Those will be generating inputs, and your operating system will process, and like it will not process, it will manage, and your CPU will process the data, and then gives your output, the screen which you see. Yeah. Next, what is computer science? Computer science is programming, algorithms, data structures, artificial intelligence, network, problem solving. Every individual thing is a branch now, but at that time, everything was a single computer science. Do you know like anybody know Turing test? Yeah. Yeah, Alan Turing wants like he has a question, right? Can computers are like perform intelligently like human? So like he called a test. This test, these are three rooms. One room has a human, and the other two human like other two rooms has a human and a computer. So this man will send a message to both of them. This both will reply back. If this man's question was replied by a human and a robot, he needs to detect which is the human and which is the robot. If he couldn't detect or if he failed to detect, then computer is performing intelligently. So he did the test, and Aliza AI, like Aliza is a chatbot. It's the first chat GPT in the world. So he did the test, and the NLP models are working perfect. So what did they use in that? Like how did they generating intelligent behavior? Yeah, This is Alisa first chatbot full pipeline. So you can see the user has typed, "I'm unhappy because my mother ignores me." So in this sentence, you may have you may find keywords. Suppose here mother is a keyword and ignores is a decision. So it's a keyword. So unhappy is also a keyword because it's a feeling. So that keywords will be processed here. So before that, this sentence will be split into multiple parts. These parts are called tokens. A computer cannot process every data linearly. If that process linearly, you will age. uh, your computer science will take 10 years. So to avoid that, the computer tokenize or pass. Uh, Passing also may suppose, instead of I am unhappy because my mother ignores me. There's a mathematical equation. Instead of an English sentence, there might be an English mathematical equation. Your computer may have defined ASCII characters, but to retrieve these two ASCII characters, our software need to parse that data into tokens. That tokens will be converted into ASCII. I will be has some ASCII value. Am will be has some ASCII value. Unhappy will have an ASCII value. And suppose there's an equation here, a plus symbol or minus symbol, that will be having some ASCII value. That will be also converted into ASCII values, and then the main keywords will be matched. Suppose in your key, you may have dictionary, right? Dictionary. Everybody knows dictionary. So in that, you may find keywords as bold letters, and non-keywords as normal letters. Sometimes you may find underlined letters which have multiple meanings. So we are defining keywords in a dictionary. So what does this block does? It has a dictionary. This rule book. Yeah, you will define it's already defined. My mother has high value, and mother has high value, and unhappy has medium value, and I am has medium value. Based on this rules and playbooks, that data will be retrieved to keyword detection, and then it goes to the pattern matching. Suppose you have your model is trained on multiple data. In that data, you may find similar sentence. So that similar sentence will be matched using this pattern keyword, and that pattern keywords will be again scoring with the rules. Same rules applies here. The rules will go back to the rules section, and then will transform into a sentence. Suppose you have taken keywords. Keywords as this: unhappy mother ignores. These rules, like these keywords will be getting the results in this from this rule section. But I am me, these all are smaller tokens which doesn't carry much weight in your day-to-day life, like grammar. You may use ambiguity. Ambiguity is the same sentence might have different meanings. Suppose bank. Bank might be river bank or a money bank. So that is called ambiguity. So in order to minimize that ambiguity, these transformations are done. Pronoun, phrase transformation. These also have a separate dictionary. Suppose I will be categorized into you, and my will be categorized into your, and am is categorized into R, and me as categorized into you. And with this categorization, less the keywords that will be generating a result. Sometimes, suppose these keywords, these transformations should be faster. These keywords need some processing. So this transformation be stored into RAM, and Google Books, Google Books and matching will be stored in persistent storage, so that you may not waste more resources on harder tasks. Along with Alan Turing. Along with Alan Turing, these are the people who found AI. So he is John, and he is Minsky, and he is Claude. I think everybody knows Claude. Yeah. He's the Claude. His name, like the Claude, was named after him. He's Claude Shannon, and he is Nathaniel Rochester. These four met in a workshop in Dartmouth College. So every every innovation starts with, starts with a question. So Alan Turing got the question, but these four people didn't stop with that question. They together researched with some few research papers, and then applied to the Darton workshop, which is a summer workshop, not this kind of workshop. In that summer workshop, they four met together under a professor, and those those four worked together and published a research on AI. That artificial intelligence research has led us to current artificial intelligence as a foundation. So, what we have to learn from them? We need to ask questions ourselves, not teachers or not friends. Ask yourself uh, what problems you face, what problems you can solve, what problems has some work to do, what problems research uh, can be done, and you categorize them and study the foundations deeply, and then work across disciplines. What is disciplines? Suppose you may have a question where the software might not work. There includes a hardware also. There use a data network also. So you should not stay with the software only. You have to learn the foundations of hardware as well as the data communication and as well as the others to solve your question. When those questions are solved, ultimately building a research product or a company product. So AI is a predictor, but what is Gen AI? Gen AI is a subcategory of AI which can create. So the Chat GPT, Claude, everything are Gen AI because it doesn't match the products. Not it doesn't match the data. It creates the new data. From where? From the weights. So after Gen AI, we are in the agentic AI. From generating text to autonomously write PDFs, to autonomously create PPTs, to autonomously create Excel sheets, it became agentic AI. Anybody know Transformers? Transformers. So, 2017, Google has published a research paper under the name Attention, all you need. This the main author was an Indian scientist. So transformers is a revolutionary architecture where the data you see earlier ELISA AI, those data were processed in the CPUs. But this transform architecture can parallelly process the data. Suppose uh, you may you may not find the rule books or playbooks for every new sentence. In that case, you cannot use you cannot use the CPU. You need to generate intelligent responses, which is called generative AI. So transformers yeah. You can look at the paper. Here, human typed a message, but AI assistant. Uh, yeah, suppose this paper is broken. Some part of it was torn or defective. Hello? Yeah. This is the neural network. 784, I'll explain. This is a image of a number. Can you guess the number? Anybody? Based on what observations you categorize that as a number. Based on your visual feedback, based on your eyes. But how can LLM see? How can software see? Without a camera, without a video input, how can it see?
The pixels.
Yeah, pixels. Correct. So the image will be categorized into tiny squares or pixels. That pixels will be getting a activation uh, activation weight. See, these are pixels, individual pixels, and the most highlighted ones, the lower values like grayscale numbers are categorized into 0.5, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6. When, when the LLM detects these ones in a pixel array, then it can see then it can see like us. Suppose here the link is break. Here Everybody following? Can you raise the hands who are following? అబద్ధాలు చెప్పండి, నిజం చెప్పండి. ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా? స్లో అవుదాం. ఇట్స్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ బికాస్ there are many, like earlier there used to be one branch, computer science or ECE or triple E. Now ఎన్ని బ్రాంచ్ ఉన్నాయి ఇప్పుడు? కంప్యూటర్ సైన్స్ ఉంది, ఏఎంఎల్ ఉంది, డేటా సైన్స్ ఉంది, డేటా ఇంజనీరింగ్ ఉంది, బోర్డ్ అండ్ బ్రాంచెస్ ఉన్నాయి. ఇవన్నీ తెలుసుకోవాలంటే మీరు ఫౌండేషన్, ఇవన్నీ తెలుసుకొని మీరు ఒక బ్రాంచ్ చూస్ చేసుకోవాలంటే మొత్తం చూడాలి కదా, అన్నీ చూస్తే కానీ అర్థం కాదు కదా. సో అలాంటప్పుడు మీరు ఫస్ట్ అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి ఎవ్రీథింగ్. ఆఫ్టర్ లైక్ బేసిక్స్ అర్థం చేసుకున్నాను అనుకో, మీరు చూస్ చేసుకోవాలి ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళాలో. ఇప్పుడు సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ అంటే మొత్తాన్ని చెప్పేస్తారా, అది మొత్తాన్ని చేస్తాను అన్నమాట. మీ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ బట్టి మీకు నెక్స్ట్ ఇయర్ మీకు ఏ బ్రాంచ్ మీద చేస్తారు వాళ్ళు. అందుకే ఇప్పుడు SW1, SW2, SW3 అని మేజర్ MNC కంపెనీస్లో ఉంటాయి. దే ఆల్సో నో that you might not know every branch, so they'll categorize everybody into SW1 and then gives you work. At that work, like at that time you may do every branch subject. You may not restrict your only subject. So to get a first hand experience and go to higher positions, you have to have some basics and foundations. So I have concentrated only that foundations. I didn't go more on deeply. So please, if you have any doubts, stop me, because I'm a student. I'm not a teacher. So you can stop me anytime and you can ask your doubts. Or else, if you want to skip the part, you can tell that as well. I have no objections. So here woman has asked a query. In the past Ariza here, there's a like rule book. Everything has a rule book. But here we don't have rule books. But we have to generate a response for the human. So to generate restore a response, we use generative AI. In that, suppose we take this as an example. This is a sentence: to be or not. Can you get the can you guess the word?
Not to be.
Not to be. మీకు అలా అర్థమైంది బి అని? చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి నేర్చుకున్నారు ఇంగ్లీష్. సో మీకు స్ట్రక్చరల్ నాలెడ్జ్, వెంటనే బి అని చెప్పేయగలరు. బట్ LLM డజంట్ నో దట్. సో ఇట్ హ్యాస్ టు యూజ్ వెయిట్స్. So in order to predict the next word, it uses transformers. Transformers is a multiple layered neural networks or hidden layers. In this network, your to be or not to be is calculated into a vector matrix. We'll see that in the next clip. Yeah. That will be calculated into a vector matrix, and then here we take this query and then we put into the transformer, and then we started with a letter. It doesn't generate every letter at a time. So it started with A. Yeah. And then it came back again. And with that A also, it generated new response. So every time it's appending the generated token. Suppose you may answer, can you explain the history, transistors, and how they are relevant to the computers? You may answer the direct word. This is a wrong question. This is right. There might be a one word answer, but LLM can't do it in one word. It has to calculate the next token. So that's why you may ask ChatGPT explain in one word, but sometimes it struggles and sometimes it works, because the struggling part is a not most common query. If a question like it has been already in books or textbooks, that query might be coming as one word, but when there is not enough data, it has to generate the next token. So that from the computations, the question mark generates and then repeats it, appending the A, and then again it goes to that, and then again it generates. Yeah, it generates over and over. But this is this is done in linearly, because it's calculating every token linearly. But whereas in transformers, you have multiple layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that, there are many layers. So when these layers are set in a parallel space, it compute in a faster way. Suppose this is a CPU. Oh, no, GPU. Yeah, GPU have CUDA cores. One GPU may have like starting 5,000 CUDA cores, 4,000 CUDA cores. So every CUDA core has some vectors. So those vectors will communicate to the next layer, transformer layer, and that transformer layer is communicated to the next transformer layer, and that transformer layer to next transformer layer. With this, it can process the parallelly instead of linearly. Suppose the previous query can be if used by a CPU, it can be calculated in some 10 minutes linearly. While using CPU, CPU mostly performs linear tasks. Suppose if the same query is it looks like you. It looks like pixel like how you view the vision. That kind of view it have. Uh, yeah, every sentence token will be here, and that token predictions will be next layer. And if these predictions are matched with that layer predictions like I'll explain it. Yeah. Suppose, yeah, the old query has to guess a token. At that time, France wait. You train data. Yeah, you may find better answers for first to 10th standard, but bad answers after engineering. Why? Because the first to 10th standard is the most common thing, and the data is perfectly accurate. So there might be less ambiguity and more data. So those weights will be graded as top. When the LLM finds this France has top token, automatically gives the France as the response. Suppose if France is wrong, but it has to choose again. Like user has posted that it's wrong. Then it go back to the layer and it chooses the next one and has 15%. Yes. See this video. LLM is generating. It's an animated video. Generating the next token. Sometimes it is choosing less weight ones. At that time, it goes back to the evaluator, and then it recalculates the weights and generate better predictions. All this data will be fed into the transformer in the training phase. Yeah. These are activation weights. These are the training weights. We have two kind of weights. One was training weights. In this, your data, which has the most common patterns, will be stored in this each weight. That weights will be used as a standard weights. But sometimes the weights actually won't work. So at that time, you as a human have to give some feedback to the LLM, and then those weights will be computed with this activation weights and multiplied with this activation weights together, which has more score than that weight as that weighted token will be generated, like will be used. Yeah, this is an animation where you can visualize GPU. Like anybody knows NVIDIA, yeah, you may know NVIDIA. It's a top global chain. It makes GPUs. Inside that, your data is processed in this kind of visual way. So there's a 3D vector space. Like you may see space, the galaxies. Every planet in the space, there's a like every planet in the space. Here, every weight is a planet here. So these weights are calculated as in a 3D plane. I can't draw here, like visualizing it. There's a x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. There are three axes. Suppose this area is nearer to the token, then it has the highest weight. Yeah. See, here voice has highest weight, right? Weight. How is that weight is calculated? This axis, axis has the origin, right? With that origin, which is the nearest cluster, that cluster will have some weight. That may be parameter weight or else activation weight. Let's take a break. Like HOD ma'am wants to come. So,
while we wait for the arrival of our head of the department, probably Valli ma'am and Lalita Bhaskari ma'am as well, we request you of coordination as well. We'll have a quiz in the meanwhile. So, thank you, Avinash, for the detailed explanation about AI and how Agentic AI works. Can we have a big round of applause for Avinash for doing this? He took a lot of time from the past 1 week. He spent a lot of time for this one. And we'll also shortly have the hands-on workshop after our guests arrive. And in the meanwhile, we'll have a quiz.
Guys,
గైస్ మీరందరూ వర్క్షాప్లో బిజీ అయిపోయారా? కాసేపు మళ్ళీ మనం స్పోర్ట్స్ టీఎఫ్ఐ అన్ని రీకాల్ చేసుకుందామా? అంటే అందరూ వర్క్షాప్లో బిజీ అయిపోయి మిగతావన్నీ మర్చిపోయి ఉంటారు కదా. సరే, సో క్యూఆర్ని అందరూ స్కాన్ చేయండి, అందరూ మొబైల్స్ తీసి సరదాగా బిజీ ఆడుకుందాం. సో విన్నర్స్ కూడా సర్టిఫికేట్ ఇస్తారు. స్టిల్ 89 ఇంకా ఎంతమంది ఉన్నారు?
Come on guys, we need some active participation.
సైడ్ లే కదా. ఓకే ఓకే, చాలా కేర్ ఎవరికైనా స్కాన్ చేయడానికి ఇబ్బంది అవుతుందా? ఓకే, స్టార్ట్ చేద్దామా? ఇంకెవరైనా జాయిన్ అవ్వాలా? ఇంకా అందరూ జాయిన్ అయిపోయారా? స్టిల్ ఇంకెవరైనా ఉన్నారా? ఓకే ఓకే,
ChatGPT వాడకండి.
గైస్ అందరూ వచ్చారు కదా రూమ్ లోకి? ఇంకా ఎవరైనా క్యూఆర్ స్కాన్ చేయడం వల్ల ఉన్నారా? అందరూ ఓకే, స్టార్ట్ చేద్దామా? సో ఓకే, 60 ఉన్నారు. లైక్ మీరు ఆన్సర్ చేసిన ఫస్ట్ ఎవరైతే ఆన్సర్ చేస్తారో వాళ్ళకి ఫస్ట్ వస్తుంది అట్లా లీడర్ బోర్డులో. ఫస్ట్ ఎవరైతే మీరు ఈలోపు చాట్ జీపీటీ లోపు ఎవరైనా చేస్తారంటే అయిపోయింది. మీరు చాట్ జీపీటీ యూజ్ చేసినా యూజ్ లేదు ఇక్కడ, ఎందుకంటే ఫస్ట్ ఎవరైతే ఆన్సర్ చేస్తారో వాళ్ళకే. ఓకేనా? ఓకే, లెట్స్ స్టార్ట్. కనిపిస్తుందా? కనిపిస్తుంది కదా? Ashraf. Okay, second question. Which actor has not worked with SS Rajmouli as a solo lead? So, Ashraf again. Next question. Which upcoming Prabhas film is scheduled after the Raj Sabha? చెప్పడం కాదు, పోల్చేయండి. Whisper.
We'll continue the session after this quiz and as well as the workshop. Currently, we are not using Exvisit. We are using like anti-gravity or cursor. So I'll explain you how to use anti-gravity and cursor in an effective way. So you know, you have to wait to see that, and then we'll form a teams. So we'll not with your friends. Is form randomly based on your domain. Suppose some may have interested in front end, some may have interested in back end, some may have interested in business, some may have interested in sales. So like that we categorize you and then we'll form a team so that you'll have a team experience at here. And I don't give any problem statement. You yourself need to find out the problems you see in your daily basis with the like discuss together what all problems you face and choose one problem statement and then work on that together. If initially you have to work all together with the cursor and anti-gravity, but after the product is built, you can prepare the PPT, like you can do how to sell that, how to scale that, how to do business with that. Those kind of things you can discuss into the teams. I'll explain that later. Currently, let me complete this.
Okay, next question. ఎవరు లూసిఫర్ ఎవరు?
Okay, next question. అయ్యగారు
అయ్యగారు అన్నగారు కాదు అయ్యగారు.
Again, Lucifer Morning Star. కాస్త ఎవరమ్మా లూసిఫర్ మార్నింగ్ స్టార్? నెక్స్ట్ క్వశ్చన్. ప్రొడక్షన్ హౌస్ ఆఫ్ స్పిరిట్. లాస్ట్ విన్నర్ ఆశ్రఫ్ మళ్ళీ ముందుకు వస్తున్నారు. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ క్వశ్చన్.
ఓ అవంతిక.
next question.
సో మీకు పోల్ చేయడానికి ఆప్షన్ ఉందా?
రైజ్ హ్యాండ్ ఆప్షన్.
ఆ?
రైజ్ హ్యాండ్.
రాలేదా? క్వశ్చన్ చేంజ్ చేసి హాస్టల్ టికెట్ కదా ఇవ్వరా?
ఆశ్రఫ్ మళ్ళీ లీడింగ్ లో వచ్చాడు. ఆశ్రఫ్, అవంతిక, బ్యూలా. సో ఇది క్రికెట్.
అందరూ తప్పులే పెట్టారు. Next question.
With this we will end. తర్వాత సెషన్ స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం. ఆశ్రయ్, ఫమన్ అండ్ తనుశ్రీ వచ్చి.
Let's discuss some few questions. Like I want to hear from you. అంత ప్యాకేజ్ రావాలన్నా చెప్పండి, ఎంత ప్యాకేజ్ రావాలన్నా? జాబ్ వస్తే చాలా. జాబ్ వస్తే చాలా, ప్యాకేజ్ కూడా కావాలి. 26 రావాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి తెలుసా? ఏం చేయాలో అసలు 26 ఇచ్చే కంపెనీలు తెలుసా? 26 ఇచ్చే కంపెనీలు కేటగిరీ తెలుసా? సో let's discuss about jobs, careers. Okay. Companies are currently categorized into three types. First is product based. Product based అంటే వాళ్ళు ఒక ప్రోడక్ట్ మీద వర్క్ చేస్తారు. సపోజ్ గూగుల్ గూగుల్ ఏం ప్రోడక్ట్ మీద వర్క్ చేస్తుంది? మీకు తెలిసే ఉంటుంది, చెప్పండి. బోల్డెన్ ప్రోడక్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా, ఈచ్ టీమ్కి ఒక్కొక్క ప్రోడక్ట్ ఉంటుంది. అలా ప్రోడక్ట్ బేస్డ్ కంపెనీస్ ప్రోడక్ట్స్ మీద వర్క్ చేస్తుంటాయి. నెక్స్ట్ కేటగిరీ సర్వీస్ బేస్డ్. సర్వీస్ బేస్డ్ ఎలా వర్క్ చేస్తారు? సర్వీస్ బేస్డ్ అంటే టీసీఎస్, ఇన్ఫోసిస్, టెక్ మహీంద్రా. ఈ సర్వీస్ బేస్డ్ ఏంటంటే క్లయింట్ ఈజ్ యూ. సపోజ్ మీరే స్టార్ట్అప్ పెట్టారు, దానికి ఒక వెబ్సైట్ కావాలి, దానికి ఒక బ్యాక్ ఎండ్ సర్వర్ కావాలి. అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తారు? మీకు అది చేయడం రాదు. సో ఒక ప్రొవైడర్కి, అదే ఒక బిజినెస్కి వెళ్ళి, అదే టీసీఎస్ లాంటి సర్వీస్ బేస్డ్ కంపెనీకి వెళ్ళి మాకు ఇలా కావాలని చెప్తే వాళ్ళు అది బిల్డ్ చేసి ఇచ్చేస్తారు. సో అది సర్వీస్ బేస్డ్. ఇక్కడ ఎవరు డబ్బులు ఇస్తున్నారు? మీరు ఇస్తున్నారు. సో మీ దగ్గర కోట్లలో ఉంటుందా? కోట్లలో ఉంటుంది మీ దగ్గర, లక్షల్లో ఉంటుంది. ఆ లక్షల్లో మీ అందరికీ జాబ్స్ ఇవ్వాలి. ఒక 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 వెబ్సైట్, అదే టీసీఎస్ సర్వీస్ బేస్డ్ కంపెనీస్ ఒక ప్రోడక్ట్ చేయడానికి, అదే ఒక ప్రోడక్ట్ కాదు, ఒక వెబ్సైట్ చేయడానికి చార్జ్ చేసేది పెన్నీస్. ఆ పెన్నీస్లో మనకి ఇంకొక క్వార్టర్ ఆర్ హాఫ్. సో అందుకే సర్వీస్ బేస్డ్ కంపెనీస్లో శాలరీస్ తక్కువ ఉంటాయి. సో మీకు ఎక్కువ శాలరీ కావాలంటే ప్రోడక్ట్ బేస్డ్ కంపెనీస్లో టార్గెట్ చేయాలి. సో నెక్స్ట్ ఇంకోటి ఉంది, స్టార్ట్అప్. స్టార్ట్అప్ అండ్ ప్రోడక్ట్ బేస్డ్ రెండు ఒకటే, కానీ టైం లైన్ డిఫరెంట్. బట్ అది స్టార్ట్అప్ అనేది ఫెయిల్ కూడా అవ్వచ్చు. సపోజ్ నేను ఒక కంపెనీ పెట్టా, అప్పుడు ఆ కంపెనీ వర్కౌట్ అవ్వచ్చు, వర్క్ అవ్వచ్చు. సో దాన్ని మీరు ప్రెడిక్ట్ చేసి అది ఆ కంపెనీ చూస్ చేసుకున్నాను అనుకో, మీకు వర్క్ ఎక్కువ ఉండొచ్చు. అదే ప్రోడక్ట్ బేస్డ్ అనుకో, మీకు హెల్త్ ఇన్సూరెన్స్ ఉంటుంది, లైఫ్ ఇన్సూరెన్స్ ఉంటుంది, మెడికల్ సపోర్ట్ ఉంటుంది, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఉంటుంది. అదే స్టార్ట్అప్లో అనుకో, మీరు యాక్చువల్గా చేయాల్సిన ప్రోడక్ట్ బేస్డ్ కంపెనీస్లో 8 hours అనుకో, స్టార్ట్అప్స్లో 12 hours ఉంటుంది, 18 hours ఉంటుంది, కానీ శాలరీ ఈక్వలెంట్ ఉంటుంది. సో మీరు ఎప్పుడైనా చేసుకునేటప్పుడు ఇలా కేటగరైజ్ చేసుకోండి. మీరు స్టార్ట్అప్లో వర్క్ చేస్తా అంటే మీకు స్కిల్ ఫాస్ట్గా డెవలప్ అవుతుంది. అదే ప్రోడక్ట్ బేస్డ్ వర్క్ చేస్తా అంటే మీరు సెటిల్ అయిపోయినట్లు మోస్ట్లీ. Anybody are international students? Okay. Sorry. Yeah, the companies are three types. Yeah, product based, service based, and startups. In product based, you will have less standard working hours, which will be monitored by government. So you cannot make the staff work for more than 8 hours per day or more than 12 hours a day. This product based companies are a good first options for you. If you want to get settled earlier, target product based. And in service based, if you want to start it, if you start your career in service based, you may initially receive lower salaries because client is you. Someone like you has a company and he is giving the money to the TCS, and that money is also a very small amount. In that small amount, for you they are giving, they are allocating the salary. So you shouldn't expect bigger salaries at your initial stage in service based. Whereas startups are extremely volatile. Volatile means sometimes the product, suppose the product has some issues. So that time the revenue may go down, the revenue may go up. At that time the investors may not be interested in investing. The main the money generated in startups is investors money. Suppose the company is backed by multi-billion dollar investment firm, then you may receive constantly good salaries. Suppose it doesn't back with a good investor firm, then it would be based on stipend based or percentage based equity. So whenever you choose a job, pick one category. I like my personal suggestion is if you are mm, regular, you want a regular life, settled life, then choose product based. So for product based companies, you have to have a CV which is highly structured to their product. Suppose you may want to work with Google, right? In that to want to work with Google search, you need to have a course related to information retrieval or NLP. Suppose if you have these keywords in your CV, the ATS uses a regex parser. They'll give you a list of keywords to a software, and then you have to submit your CV. That parser will find the keywords and then checks with the regex, is that matching or not. If that matches, your score will be higher. If doesn't match, your score will be lower, and you will be not shortlisted in the first round itself. If you want to, if you want to get into these companies, have to have multiple CVs ready for the product. Suppose Google search comes under a browser. So all browser products you can keep one CV, and something like a streaming app. So suppose you want to work with Netflix. Netflix is a streaming app. Suppose Netflix, like if you made a CV for Netflix, you can use it for Prime Video as well, because same keywords are being used the same keywords are being used for the same category product. Suppose that's a basic example. Next comes to startup. If you are very energetic and you have the only option is startup, then you can choose startup. In this startup, you have to work intense hours. You can gain best knowledge, because you are the founding member of the team. Because startup means it's the initial stage where most pipelines full architecture was planned within your team. So you are exposed to business, you are exposed to sales, you are exposed to technology, you are exposed to software. So whenever you're choosing startups, make your mind that you're ready to work 12 hours like a I didn't get a idiom. So next is service based. Always keep service based as your last opportunity, because service based has very common tasks. Suppose website building. Anybody, mostly everybody has experience. Yeah. Where did I stop? Yeah, service based, they have mostly common tasks: making a website, building an application, maintaining a server. So these tasks are mostly replaced by agents. That's what we are learning in understanding agentic AI. These jobs, like smaller tasks, will be replaced next year, because Claude anti-gravity, Claude Code anti-gravity, Cursor have moved to faster models and lower weight models. They are using MOE architecture, where your cost will be reducing significantly, and they are open sourcing the models. So you can also NVIDIA is making powerful processors which are based on ARM chipset architecture, where your laptop can run ChatGPT without internet. So you don't need internet. So think if you are joining, like if you want to join a service base, uh, make it as a last opportunity because the task will be simplified and the junior developers are mostly given small tasks. Those tasks can be done using the oldest, like the first version of ChatGPT only. So whenever you choose, mind this. And preparing for the series based on service based, you may have like standard CV templates because mostly these are mass recruiters, right? So those jobs have standard templates. You can use that. Whereas product based, you can use typist or latex templates, standard templates like typist. I show you. Yeah. When you're choosing product based, you have to categorize your CV based on the product. So here you start with the basic details, your bio, your name, everything. Like mostly keep the CV as minimal because the CV isn't viewed by an human because like it is viewed by at the first round. It is viewed by a computer. So it doesn't know new patterns. Suppose you used a fancy color, that color may be not scripted in that. So it will ignore that and that color won't be passed and that color has no value also. So sometimes if that color isn't passed properly, if that color is placed here, your text may not be passed. So never use colors like color like fancy CVs while applying to product based where ATS like ATS is a software where the like all the JD is described. Yeah. And always categorize your CV into sections. So yeah, education is must because they'll see your CV. Not see, yeah, they'll see your CGPA because at this like in this age, the most reliable way is to check your CGPA because you may have assignments, exams, everything, but like assignments, projects, everything, but projects being built by AI now. Assignments are written by AI now. Research are written by AI now. So you have to like keep your CGPA at a minimum 7.5 and a good one as 8 or 8 above. And that CGPA will be passed into the ATS and then it filters out. This in those 4 to 5 rounds, what will be done? Like anybody know? The first round, technical round, screening. Yeah, they might be different based on the companies. So here they'll open the CGPA for 7 CGPA, but while you come to the last round, like fourth round, they will see your CGPA. Suppose a 9 CGPA guy passed the fourth round and a 7 CGPA guy also passed the fourth round. They'll give you up to 9 CGPA guy only. So you better like prepare to with that. Like don't like yeah. Don't be overconfident that you have better projects, you have better research papers, but you still didn't get the job because uh, GPA. And extracurricular activity and recommend you go with work experience, projects, research papers, um, yeah, hackathon. I conducted a workshop and you all participated. I will give you like if I am a HR, I'll give you a better what we call. I'll show better interest on you because you non-participants. I may give lesser interest. Better go. Okay. We'll start with the project session. Like all like anybody if download Exvisit can try it again. Others you can download a cursor or anti-gravity. So I'll explain how to start agentic coding, the basics, so that you can form teams and then you can decide yourself a problem statement and you can create a project, mini project. Okay. After downloading, you can raise your hand. I'll see like based on more response, then I can start. You have Wi-Fi hotspot limits or anything, use your friends.